Okay, so they have a suspect arrested. I'm going to try to be focused here and give you some facts. So his name is Caesar. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name, but here's what's interesting. Okay, and of course, yes, we're going to hear that not only is he a patsy, he doesn't even exist. Perhaps he's a CG. Perhaps he's just computer generated. But there are allegations that he is involved in the martial arts. We're going to actually take a look. I'm going to take a look at the story for the first time with you. But of course, this is still breaking, so we're going to get the official version of reality as to who is this guy, who is Caesar that sent these packages, and is he acting alone? Is Frank Dukes involved? How about the Gracie family? Does it go deeper into the realm of Black Belt Magazine? It already seems ripe for investigation. Let's just go over 5 fast facts from heavy.com. 5 fast facts. All right, I need them a little bit faster. Number 1. He was described as a lost soul and said to be a one-time stripper. The one-time stripper's brain may have been melted by too many steroids. I'm just gonna have to pause here. So yeah, so still people are going, is this story real? Is it not real? What the hell is going on? But as we go into the character, I just had a little bit of suspicion that there is going to be some oddities. There's going to be some quirkiness. There's going to be something that kind of reminds us maybe of something out of a bad 80s film. Let's go back. And I'm curious to see some of his martial arts poses and outfits. We have the images on the van. Of course, in this case, a lot of people are going to be a little defensive. They're going to be like, hey, wait a minute. These are my favorite stickers. Well, they're not my favorite stickers, but I tell you what, they definitely are the favorite combination of stickers. Not these specific, but just the theme. Pro-Trump, anti-Clinton. Just these memes, these conspiracy memes that are, and even the graphics aren't even, as we look closer at this, I mean, this looks like a collage of memes from Facebook. Of course, this looks like art over here. You know, I've been talking about this for 2 years and the divide within this nation. And yeah, this is big time stuff. Wacky, wild stuff. As we go back to the van here, I wonder if that van has any history. What do you think? Think that van has history? Well, there's so many conservative chicks that are on YouTube, right? I could just go down the list naming them. It's comical, don't you think? Some women may give other women advice, dating advice, that they should be like, serving these men or something. They can go ahead and do that themselves. You see, a lot of people out there want to get really, it's a very frustrated society, if you know what I mean. Right? Oh yeah. Yeah. And as things get more frustrating for certain people, they're just exploding inside. And I'll also say, this is just from another angle, right? As this is unfolding, we'll go back to more details about him. There's no rush. Kick back. Are we witnessing the rise of the sleeper agent element of the population that's not paid by the government, but they've been targeted to carry out a certain behavior? Now, there are people that are going to say, well, of course, that's what we're saying. It's the deep state. They're trying to undermine Trump. They're following a particular narrative of how the conspiracy actually is implemented. How do they know that's how it works? No, that's what the memes are saying on the internet. Trump knows what he's doing. And there's certain buzzwords that are being used and other subliminals, and we're moving a certain path. The herd behavior, the nature of human psychology, is being taken advantage of. I would say there's some high-tech mind control and subliminal activity taking place of the likes that people are not aware. People think it's cutting edge. Oh, I listened to the reverse speech, and I heard Obama say he's Satan, and then I heard Trump say he's good. Reverse speech. And it's like people were even using that and other things. Even, oh man, James Gillen, I even visited his ranch up in Washington. He even has endorsed Donald Trump to a certain degree, and the whole idea of we have to go there, the Galactic Federation of Light and others, and the downloaded channeled messages, the one to bring forth the world peace. It's like it's the biggest fraud that there is, and these people aren't being held accountable. So I mean, honestly, we are a culture that is going to breed the sleeper agent just by osmosis. You don't really need much magic or hypnosis, do you, sunshine? Look at the media as it is. Picture the average person that I've warned about it. And so CNN is a part of the deception, but some go, well, Alex, why then does CNN say something similar? Because they're there to hijack the message against the right wing. CNN is responsible, actually, for the rise in hatred towards Muslims. Alex, why would you say that? CNN loves Muslims. I saw a guy that looked like an Arab that was on TV. They love them so much. Yes, that same CNN, they had a reporter go talk to Osama bin Laden, as cited by William Cooper, years before 9/11. Then, of course, the post 9/11 DVD that I bought from the library for $1 that's sitting over there that I bought for historical records. 9/11. America remembers. CNN, CNN, CNN. And it's like they were the ones to carry forth through the Republican administration. It's not a one-sided partisan anything when it comes to a number of these networks. These are like fake memes and CNN is Clinton News Network. It would be more accurately defined as the China News Network. So listen, as someone that's been involved in looking at alternative media for 10 years, 12 years, 13 years, I'm not an expert, but you get a feeling, at least some of us do, some people clearly do not. Some people I think go down that way, that I thought were really onto something and impressed me years ago. Literally, there are people out there that I can name, that I literally can name like at least 10 and just keep going, that they impressed me years ago, and there was the sense that they were waking up to something and we were a part of a movement. Now all that facade is gone. It is gone. It is gone. It is gone. I promise you some facts, and we're going to get back to this. But see, the potential for people like this guy to exist is possible because the psychological ops have been played out on the population, and an element of that population has done time in the U.S. Armed Forces. Maybe for others, they've done time in other elements of criminal enterprise. There's some people with maybe some experience in criminal enterprise, and you can actually kind of blend when they can get people to kind of blend their criminal enterprise and their criminal behaviors with extreme political ideologies. As I also talked about, kind of the mixing of the group MMA with weapons, along with politics, and just kind of making it one big mess, kind of like a big like ice cream sundae that's melting on a hot day, and you're really adding too much onto that cone, and it's just spilling all over the floor. And that's ultimately, I guess, the best description. So let's look at this spill a little bit closer. If the MAGA bomber is indeed Caesar, as law enforcement sources are now telling multiple media outlets, he's a registered Miami County Republican who registered in 2016 and voted in both the primary and general in 2016. He used to dream of becoming a pro wrestler. Instead, he found work as a professional stripper. See, I have to wait 10 minutes into a video to get into the interesting stuff. Back in the 90s, according to an event promoter, Tony Valentine, he was running around the country taking jobs as a stripper. Valentine hired him for some stripping jobs in Ohio. He also worked in Minnesota. Oh, tell me he worked in Portland wrestling. No, it doesn't get that interesting. No Portland. Damn. Valentine told the Examiner that he couldn't remember Sayoc ever abusing drugs, or for that matter, ever talking about politics. Steroids may have affected his brain. Loose cannon. Similar story that we've heard from others, regarding others. So it could be like, for example, I mentioned group MMA, right? So that's a sport element. We've seen the rise in these are the athletes. You guys are the soy boys. This is freedom. You did it. And then it splits. And then it's kind of a manufactured divide. And it's dumb that other people are playing that role as thugs and blocking traffic, but it creates like that, sense of righteousness that we saw like, on the side that's going to march in defense of Trump. Even if we don't agree with the politics, right? We agree that people have the right to walk down the street. Most of us. I do. So I can tell what's right and I can tell what's wrong. And then so people can easily put on the superhero athletic United States free speech. And they're exercising their free speech, but they're actually standing up for a cause that actually works against free speech. So it's really counterfeit. So it's like craziness. So yes, I can understand that. Craziness from the steroids. Yeah, he sees Tiny, on YouTube. He sees others. He hears Alex Jones, and he gets the wrestling stuff. Then maybe he starts watching some Hulk Hogan. Maybe starts doing a little bit of drugs. Starts doing some hookers. Starts watching Multis, some Macho Man Randy Savage. Starts putting it all together. Watching Patriot Prayer in Portland. It's like, and it's like real, man. It all mixes together. Non-stop YouTube autoplay. He can pass out. It'll go from WWF. It'll go from Donald Trump's speech. It'll go from Alex Jones. And he'll wake up and it'll just start, with another injection. So, yeah. I just played out that scenario. I can see that. I can see what happened to him. Facebook, oh, yeah, totally. Who knows, maybe going back at it with a few people for days. People trolling each other for days, like literally living and eating and, going at it. Maybe he has, goes through a series of computers because he'll pick one up over his head and go, and throw it against the wall. Who knows? Let's try to maintain some professionalism and find out more about him. So we're going to see more pictures. Let's see how many we can find with him buffed out. I saw a few. So promoter, booking agent live entertainment. Okay, so we see some videos, some pictures. Very exciting. So he says he's developed his own style of fighting that was used to fight the Communist Party of the Philippines. Here is a detailed website. Oh, and I'm still online. We're actually going to be able to experience this together. What a magical moment. This is really exciting. Public announcements on current events. And that is all. That is all. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Go away now. Okay. All right. So nothing there. So we're back to the van. We're back to the van, a lot like the trucks that I see in the grocery store at Walmart. Come on, try to take my gun. I'm just waiting for it. And I'm just like, dude, I really don't think that the random person down the street is looking to take your gun. There is stuff that's on the media that's amping us up, playing that civil unrest scenario. And I've talked about that years ago too. We're pretty remote here. I've met people concerned that there's a plan to even go up, take the guns from all off-gridders up in here. No. There's probably war with China coming. Maybe they'll try to take our guns. Maybe there'll be some other things. Right, but just to walk in, they're gonna come, and the liberals want to come and take all of our guns. And it's like we're talking about people that, for the most part, are shooting at trees and cans, and for the most part, unless somebody is not going out, putting themselves on the radar, the potential of someone coming in the next year or two to take their guns. Especially if they're not a felon. See, if someone has a felony and they come up on our radar, sure, there might be a law enforcement officer to come and take their guns, but that's going to be because they ended up, unfortunately, in that category, which is not cool that we live in a police state. And a lot of people lose their Second Amendment that way. There's not really enough lobbying for the Second Amendment for people that have been wrongly lost their Second Amendment because they've earned a felony. What if certain things that shouldn't be felonies are felonies? that don't involve harm to others. And so, there are certain things with regards to that, mistakes people have made, so there's also a lot of ways in which people only talk about the Second Amendment, but they don't talk about like strong communities. And so there are things that the Second Amendment relates to when it comes to defending oneself. How do communities defend themselves when they're targeting members of their own communities that voted for Clinton? We're talking about elements of the country that they think should be put in camps because they've been told by Fox News, because Fox News told him, and it really does go there. It really does go do hee ha 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 ho hee ha ha ho. And it's like, whoa. Once you're at that level, they must have been putting out some subliminals. Just like straight out of They Live, like sleep, sleep, sleep. This is freedom. It's actually slavery. Keep drinking. Now, let's go back, though, and try to glean some additional data. Those facts weren't very fast. We need to see how much faster we can get this. Taking a look here, going back. A choreographer of male stripping. You see, we get slowly into the details of that. He graduated a number of stuff, veterinary medicine. His dream to become a horse doctor. On his Twitter page, he is a former soccer player and cage fighter. He is the owner of 2 businesses, Native American Catering. Okay, so it looks like his heritage is Native American, MMA, steroids, on the right. His belief that Florida candidate Andrew Gillum was funded by Soros. Similarity there with some of the memes. Continuing. He was charged with making a bomb threat. Oh, now it's getting a little bit more interesting in 2002. Suggesting basically that this, I guess, wasn't his first time. Okay, and we are looking at now a video that was uploaded just recently. And, alrighty. His most recent arrest was in 2014. In 2002, he was charged with making a bomb threat in Florida. He was sentenced to 1 year of probation. Prosecutors agreed to withhold. Not sure how you say that, of the felony charge, meaning it was dismissed after he completed the probation in 2003. In 1991, he was charged with third-degree grand theft, a felony. Domestic violence. Drug charges, okay. So yeah, kind of like I was saying earlier before I got into reading this, number 5. Political commentator Rochelle Ritchie says that he sent her threatening messages after she appeared on Fox. So yes, I was just saying just recently here that there may be signs of heavy trolling behavior, things of that nature. And those things can be a warning sign, although, for a lot of people, it may just be a phase when people go into a certain level of obsession. And that's good when we see that certain things are just phases. And so let's take a look at what this is. Okay, we'll go ahead and click here. We'll bring this up. Take a look at this this tweet. So you make threats. We unconquered Seminole tribe will answer your threats. We have nice silent airboat ride for you here on our land. It's almost, yeah. We will see for sure. hug your loved ones real close every time you leave home. So I'm not sure. Oh. Okay, so this person actually contacted her. And I suppose people are going to say that this girl's fake. But wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let's just get stranger. As we look at her actual image here, as we record this live, I need to do all this live with you. Not live like live streaming, but, you know, unscripted, unplanned, just going over the information raw. Let's experience this MAGA wrestler, steroid abuser together. And, okay, that may be a real woman, but that looks weird too. But maybe she identifies with the avatar reality as a primary. Okay, could be real. It almost looked like a CG at first. Okay, so she's on Fox. She is a Fox contributor. Okay, well, that explains everything. Okay, because there's a lot of weird people on Fox. And whether they're light skin or dark side, Fox News reporters do come across like aliens, maybe not from outer space, but, you know, whether we're looking at Megyn Kelly or others, you know, I'm just saying there is something very strange about those female reporters on Fox News. So we'll just leave that alone. And then also RT, we can go down that rabbit hole. So everything they know about this man, though, is still being developed. We don't know if there's any, well, there's probably going to be videos coming out of him stripping, who knows, regarding wrestling and MMA. I mean, that's an interesting combination with cocaine, with steroids. Yeah, strippers, male strippers are usually, well, they're not all, yeah, I'm not trying to be judgmental. However, we'll just keep going. We'll just keep going. Early Friday morning, authorities arrested a 56-year-old Florida man named Caesar. It would be Sayoc, in connection with a spat of mail bombs that have been targeting prominent critics for the last week. Most of this we already went over. So, going forward, we got an image there of his fingerprints. So there is a case being built, at least that we're seeing, that he's a real person. That he's a real person. Okay, so I mean, like as this builds, right, more of the character comes out, it's going to be more of a case of, yeah, it seems like it's more of a sleeper agent. Guy really did do it. Guy really is a product of being broken, you know, and, you know, identifying with something that pulled him in. You know, we might as well just close things here. Saw a potential to get that new rush of testosterone when steroids really weren't working anymore, and the Trump thing seemed to have elements of it, and elements of these memes. And, ooh, the Target bullseye on Clinton. Yeah, that's really going against the whole establishment. Yeah, she masterminded the last 100 years of it all. And she's the one that holds the key to what's been done the last 100 years. And Soros, them alone. And see, I've spoken out against that. That's like creating like crazy people within a society that think two people like, you know, the Wicked Witch running off with the Tin Man and some sort of weird twisted version of the Wizard of Oz. That should not be. And it's like, yes, it's the comic version of the conspiracy. People have bought it. People have sold it. People have been taught that this is about fighting to the death. They watch Alex Jones say, I'm ready. And they're thinking like, he's messaging folks. It's time to go. It's time to go. It's time to move. And there's certain people that are like responding to that. And that's what this is. That's what I think this is.